Hello folks, welcome to my channel Java Demystified by SSR. Here comes the question number 41. How to create string objects in Java? Let's demystify this question. Creating string objects in Java. So first of all, what is a string in Java? A string is a sequence of characters and always represented in double quotes. So whatever the string that we want to represent, we have to represent in double quotes. For example, Java, it is a string. Then I can say hello, this is a string. So these things are specified within the double quotes. So any string is a sequence of characters and which is specified in double quotes. In Java, strings are objects. So now when I say Java in double quotes, it is going to be an object. Hello is also going to be an object. Strings are objects in Java. So now the question is how to create string objects in Java. So there are two ways through which we can actually create string objects. One is using string literals. So string literals means, see, these are literal. This is a literal and this is a literal. Anything that is specified within the double quotes is a string literal. Okay, so they are also string constants, right? So anything that you specify in double quotes is a string constant. So we also call them as literals, right? So for example, I said 10, that is an integer literal, and any character specified in single quotes, that is a character literal. 3.14, that is a floating point literal. In the same fashion, anything that you specify in double quotes is a string literal. Okay, so now you can see here string name equals to Java. Okay, so this is creating object using string literal. And the second way is we can actually create string using string class. So we know string class is available in lang package, java.lang package, and java.lang package is by default imported to any Java program. And by using this string class, so string s equals to new string of Java. So this is creating a string object using this particular class. And here, even though we are using string class here, we are not using new keyword. Okay, directly when you represent a string literal, and that is going to become object, string objects. Let's understand more details. So where actually these objects will get stored, what is the memory, is it heap memory or is it anything? So those details we are going to discuss now with a program. Yeah, so here is my program with a class test, so public class test, and here string str1 equal to hello. So this is creating string object using string literals. Okay, it is using string literals, and this is actually using string class. This is using string class. So we know whenever we create any object with a new operator, it is going to get created in the heap memory. Any object you are creating with the new, so new always refers to the heap memory. Heap memory is one of the runtime memories Java runtime uses while executing Java applications. Okay, so let us now understand what actually happens when you create these two string objects, because first one you are creating using literal and second one you are creating using new operator. Okay, let me actually represent this memory layout here. So now I am actually representing here, this is my heap memory. This is my heap memory, and in heap memory, so there is a special portion which is actually called string constant pool. So this one, whatever I have represented here, is a string constant pool. What is string constant pool? String constant pool is a special memory in the heap. So this whole is the total heap actually. So let me write that also. So total heap. So whenever you create any object using new operator, those objects are getting allocated over here in the heap part. And so there is something called string constant pool. So what is this actually? Yeah, let me actually tell you the execution of this one. So whenever you start executing, that means after compiling. So when you say java c test.java, so let me actually compile and show this. Yeah, let me close this annotation. Yeah, let me close this annotation for some time. Yeah, I'm compiling now java c test.java. Of course it is compiled, it is a simple program. I have two string object created, and I am actually printing. So now we have compiled and the dot class file is available, right? Now when I say here java then test, program execution start with the main method, and test.main is called. Now what is actually happens, let me tell you. So when you say main, so main stack is going to get created. A main stack is going to get created for the main method. Let me actually represent this particular main stack. So this is my main stack. Let me actually name this as main. So in main stack, first of all, we have a local variable str1. So let me actually write this str1. So this str1 is a string reference variable. And yeah, so now what is actually happening? Str1 equal to hello. So hello is a string literal, a string constant. So I told you already, strings are objects in Java. So now what happens? This particular hello, which is a string object, since it is a string literal, this object is going to get created and stored in a string constant pool. So here I will be having this particular hello object. So this is my hello object, and which is being referred by the reference variable that is actually string1. Okay, so string literals are allocated in string constant pool. So that is the new thing that one has to understand. So whenever you create an object with a new, that is going to get allocated in the heap area. Whenever you create a string object using string literal, that string object is going to get allocated in the string constant pool. So now str1 will refer to this particular hello. So now my object has got created, and which has a reference variable. Whenever I want, I can actually go and get that, right? So now coming to the second line. So here str2. So whenever you say str2, there is a local variable here. This is the local variable in the main stack, str2, and which is going to refer to a string object. Okay, so that string object is getting created with the string class. So new string of Java. So now new string object, that is Java, is going to get created in the heap area, because there is a new keyword, right? So here what happens here actually, so this particular string object that is going to get created over here in the heap area, it has its own address. And of course, we'll get the hash code of that after successful creation, and that is referred with the help of this str2 reference variable. So now this Java is getting referred by this str2. Okay, fine. So this will happen at the same time. New string of Java, so string object is getting created in the heap, and in new string we are actually using again this particular Java part, right? So we are using this. So this is again a string literal. So every string literal is an object in Java. Now what happens? This Java, which is a string literal, is an object, and that is going to get created in the string constant pool. So that is the new thing one has to understand here. Okay. So Java is a new object that is going to get created, and it is available in the string constant pool. So that means for this particular statement, string str2 equal to new string of Java, there are two objects created, one in the heap and which has the reference, the priority, reference variable, the priority will be to the object which is created in the heap only. And Java is a string literal. String literals also object, and they are going to get created in the string constant pool. So Java also will get created over here, but it is unreferenced. This thing is unreferenced, right? So this is what actually going to happen for this particular program. Okay, so in Java we can actually create string objects in two ways. One is by string literals. So when you create an object using string literals, all those string objects are stored in string constant pool, which is part of heap. Then when you create a string object using string class, there are two objects that are going to get created. One will be in the heap, and that object will be referred by the reference variable and any string literal that we have used, and that is going to get allocated here in the string constant pool. Okay, so now for these two statements, how many objects are created? Three objects are created, one in heap, two in string constant pool. Okay, so let me actually write something here, and what I'm doing here is, after this I'm actually writing something like this: string str3 equals to Java. So now I am going to create another object, string str3 equal to Java, by using string literal. So this is by using string literal. Okay, and here in the second line, string str equal to new string, and this is going to create two objects. That statement is going to create two objects, one in heap which will have a reference, another is in string constant pool. Now coming to the string str3 equal to Java. Now this is Java is a string literal, and which has to be created in the string constant pool. Fine. So here we have the string constant pool, and which has a reference now, that is str3. So now what actually happens at the runtime? So when you create, when this line str3 equal to Java is being executed, and here we will have, let me annotate this one also. So this str3 as a reference variable in my main stack, and which is used to point to the object which you are going to create, that is Java. So where it will get created, because it's a string literal, it has to get created in the string constant pool. Now what JVM checks? So JVM checks whether any string constant, any string literals that is already available in the string constant pool with the name called Java. If it is there already, then new object will not be created. If it is not there, then the new object is going to get created. So now Java is already there in the string constant pool. Now no new object is created, but the reference will be returned back. So you will have a reference to this particular object that is getting created. Okay, so now for this statement at the line number 9, no object is going to get created because already this particular string object is there, because it's a string literal, and string literals are allocated in the string constant pool. In the string constant pool already you have an object with a name called Java, and now there is a requirement to create the same object. Now it will not get created, rather the reference will be returned back. So now this Java is also have a reference. Okay, so this is how in Java, by using this string constant pool, memory is managed efficiently. Since already object is there and new object is not getting created, rather a reference will be returned back. Okay, yeah, for the three statements here, how many objects created? Three objects. The first line, one object. The second line, there are two objects. For the third line, there is no object. Let me add up one more thing to this. So let me actually close that annotation. So now I am saying like this: string str4 equals to, let's say again, Java. Now what is going to happen? Let me actually open my annotations. Here you will have another reference variable called str4. So here in the main stack, you will be having this str4 as a local variable. Now you are asking to create a reference, a string literal object, that is Java. So it has to be created in the string constant pool. And the string constant pool, already there is a string object with the name Java is available. So now no new object is created. No new object is created, but a reference will be returned back. Now string 4 can actually refer to this particular Java which is available in this particular string constant pool. So now for the 4 lines in the code, str1, str2, str3, str4, how many objects are there? Only 3 objects. 2 in the string constant pool, one is in the heap actually, right? So now I think if people have understood what happens actually when you create a string object using string literal and string class. So finally, let me add up one more line. So I'm closing this annotation and I'm actually writing something like this. Now one should understand this clearly. So now I am saying string str5 equals to new string of str5 equal to new string of, let's say, hello. New string of hello. Okay, so now what will happen actually? So I have a local variable. Over here, and that is str5. This is str5 and the new string of hello. So whenever it is new, an object is going to get created in the heap. So in the heap, I will be having this particular hello string object getting created. Hello string object is getting created, and this is the new object that got created. After creation, a reference will be returned back, and that reference is pointing to this hello object. Okay, and here, since hello is also a string literal, it should also get created. In the string constant pool. Now JVM checks whether this hello is already available. Yes, it is available. So no new object is going to get created. Okay, so for this line, string str5 equal to new string of hello, only one object is going to get created, that is in the heap area. And the string literal is already available in the string constant pool. So no new object is going to get created. Okay, so as a summary, finally, what you need to understand is when you create an object in the string using string literal, it will get allocated in the string constant pool if that object is not available in the string constant pool. If already that object is available, then it is not going to get created. That is the first thing. Whenever you create a string object using string class, there is a possibility of creating 2 objects. One is for sure. New always refers to heap. An object is going to get created in the heap. And the second, the string literal will get created in the string constant pool if the string literal doesn't exist in the string constant pool. Okay, so you will have 2 objects created when you actually use string class to create an object. By using string constant pool, what we are achieving actually? So what is the use? So memory will be used efficiently, because already you have a string constant, already you have a string object that is created, and there is no need to create once again. Just the reference will be returned back. Okay, that's how the memory will be managed efficiently using string constant pool. Okay, so this is about how we can actually create string objects in Java. So yeah, so here I have created 5 string objects. Of course, I want to compile and show you that it will work. So for that, what I'm doing is I have already compiled. So once again, I will compile since I have changed this code. Java C test.java compiled successfully. And when I say Java test, so here what I am printing is str1 plus str1 and str2. So str1 is hello, str2 is Java. It is getting printed, but execution running is not important. But the point that one has to understand here is how the memory is getting allocated. String literals are allocated in string constant pool, and when you create string object using new operator, they are going to get allocated in the heap. Okay, so whenever you are using string class to create string objects, there is a possibility of creating two objects, one for sure in the heap. So other depends actually. So whether that string literal is already available in the string constant pool, then it's not getting created. If it is not there, then that is going to get created. Hope you have understood this particular explanation. And I will be coming up with more videos on strings actually. So if you like this explanation, you can actually like this video, share to your friends, and you can actually subscribe if you have not subscribed. Thank you.